It's almost $900 a month.
Yeah, it's about $840 a month, I'd say, right? Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, $888. So I always just figure that's $900.
Okay.
They owe $109 on it, but its value is estimated at $150. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Probably.
that makes sense. I guess I'm on the website you sent me. Yep. And I'm seeing. Yeah, I see a balance of 125.
Okay, could be. Again, we would want the we always want the mortgage rates, yeah, because everybody's got a different number. Everybody's they're pulling their stuff from different places. Let's see. Yeah, okay, I'm seeing that too. Okay, so and I'm seeing a 322 on that one. So we got to get a mortgage if we're when we move forward. It's good. I mean, the interest rate's awesome, so we're good. And so what were their issues besides the roof?
What does WDO stand for?
WDL.
Oh, WDO.
WDO.
Yeah.
A WDO inspection. Let's see. Wood destroying organism.
Okay. Termites. Got it.
Termites. Yeah, so they've got termites?
It sounds like it. Yep. She said we found a little bit WDO in it. I didn't know what that meant, so I just wrote it down.
Yeah, so you can beat them up huge. That's kind of good news. Because you never know what kind of damage they can do. Where are we? What's let me back out for a second.
We're in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay. Yeah, there's termites there. Okay, so yeah, I think you're prime for just a no down, nothing down, take it over.
Yeah.
That's what I was I would tell them, I would say, hey, I'm not even going to get creative on this. I'm just going to let you know this is all we could ever possibly do, because as an investor, this thing doesn't cash flow. We're going to come in and just, we're just going to hope for an equity play here. You're going to cash flow maybe $50 a month. It's not very great, but we're going to walk in with a little bit of equity, and that's where we're like, okay, we'll deal with that equity. So yeah, that's where I'd go, 100%.
Perfect. That's what I was wanting to ask, to see if you want to put anything down or just say straight up, let's just take it over.
Yeah, and then run through that, and you'll see if you do the offer price right at the I think they already do it automatically. Nope, they didn't. The only thing I don't like about this thing is take out the assignment fee right away, just because it gets kind of crazy.
I always put that at 0 when I start figuring stuff too.
Well, that's easier. Okay, so we know that their balance is 125, so that's what we're offering. So with a 0 down payment, and lo and behold, cash is 35%. Can't imagine that's correct. Yeah, net revenue is $57. Dang, I'm getting good at this.
You are. Yep.
I don't know why. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so it doesn't cash flow, but you're going to be walking in with a little bit of equity. So
exactly.
Why not? Yeah, just try that. And the fact that they hate seller finance and all that stuff, it's like, hey, I'm here just to save the day. You guys want to quit paying that? What is it, $900 a month? If you guys want to be done with that $900, I'll come in and take it over. We're good to go. I'll take the hit on the cash flow, and we'll do it. And that's it. That's all you offer them, and then say, go back to your sellers, see what they say, and then we can make a deal. But that's all I can do, because again, we want to kind of ignore the fact that there's a little bit of cash. There's a little bit of equity in this.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's a cool little house, and you can also say, I'm going to have to repaint. That stupid green looks like crap.
I know all the brown in there. This one with the brown.
Yeah, just say, to make this desirable, that's going to cost me a lot to paint. but it's kind of got a cool garage area. That thing's
Doesn't
sick.
it? Yeah, it has like a lift in it. That's pretty sweet.
Oh, that's great. I wonder if the lift
Yeah.
stayed. Probably goes with it. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just and tell them it's contingent on the lift staying. That thing's worth about $3,000, $4,000. So
Okay.
yeah, go for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
see what happens. That's cool. Let me know what happens.
Sounds good. We'll do. I have one other one. I'm kind of
Cool.
all over the place right now. Give me 1 second.
No worries.
I have it on my other computer. I'm talking with you right now. Where? Let me send it in your DMs quick.
All right. Did you send it?
Most. I'm a really slow typer. I'm sorry.
You are a slow typer.
Yes.
We won't hold that against you. WDO. We can add that to our thesaurus now, or
yeah, exactly.
It's so amazing how many different got it in Detroit.
Yeah.
Many different, like, again, my favorite, and I say it all the time, is Fizbo. I think that's the greatest one because it's so it sounds like so much more than what it is. You know what Fizbo is? Okay.
I have no idea. No idea.
No idea what Fizbo is?
No.
Ready to have your mind blown? For sale by owner. Isn't that stupid? That is so dumb. I know. That's what I thought. There's a few things in my life that I like that, and I used to do the X Games. We would shoot the X Games, and there's a term called rolling up the windows. I thought it's the greatest term ever, and it's when somebody like is on a half pipe or something where they've caught air and they've lost control, and they're like falling. That's rolling up the windows.
Rolling down the windows.
It's the best thing ever. Okay, let's see. So what are you planning here?
So I was planning on, so the seller is super motivated to sell this thing right now. They just did a $20,000 cut like 2 days ago.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, well, I looked at rents in the area. If it's not Section 8, it's like $1,200. If it is Section 8, it's $1,595. That's like the highest they can get.
Right. So we'll call it $1,200.
Yeah, we'll call it $1,200. So I was thinking if someone, because I know if you get like a DSCR loan, the minimum is like $75,000.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, 20%
to do that. So I was like, yep. And I feel like that's probably gonna be the best cash on cash return on something like this. So I was thinking $75,000. It's pretty close to obviously the price point.
Yeah, so we want to get it way lower. Let's see what we can do here. Let's start poo-pooing the property. But it's still, I mean, it's got a good cash flow possibility, so that's great.
Yeah.
Dang it. Pretty clean.
It is very clean.
Dude, I hate that. Yeah, I can't really. And don't worry about the DSCR loans threshold as far as your price, because people they'll buy with other means. So don't let that dictate what you want to do with your price.
Sounds good.
Gosh, dang it. It's pretty clean for looking like it's not going to be just because of the snow outside. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I would come in a little lower than they're asking for sure. I know you're at 75. I would come down even further.
Okay, like 60, 65.
I like 50.
50.
I'm kind of it's just one of those things. If you want it to sell, that's gonna be way better. So do 50, and then I mean your COC is way up there if that's the case.
Yeah,
because
no, you doing like 45% if you get it right around 50.
62, believe it or not.
Oh,
62.
there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's with no assignment fee, so that's cheating a little bit. But let's see.
Yeah.
If you put
Let's
in,
see.
and again, I think a 2,000 assignment fee is probably reasonable. Well, you can. Yeah, it's 59, so you could go 4,000.
You can do like
Yeah.
a 4,500.
Yeah, you could get a solid assignment fee. Yeah, I mean that's one of those where you'd get 600 a month. Your PITS is going to be around $500. Not bad. So if you can get it for that, that's the hard part. Otherwise I'd go seller finance if they're even close to interested in it because they don't have a mortgage, right? Yeah. So
No, they don't. They weren't interested in it at
no.
all. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and let them know that that's what you can do, and you can go up to 60. Let's see what 60 says.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this. Okay, yeah, at 60 it goes red immediately. So 55 it allows it.
Okay.
It's funny. At
Yeah, and that's
60.
still 42. That's still 42% with the 5K assignment.
Yep. That's weird. Yeah, 60 is even fine. I don't know why it goes red on me really.
I think it does that because it says you want to be at least 60% of the asking price.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, but know that you can go that high. Let's start at 50, see what happens.
Okay. Perfect. Will do.
Why not? Okay, bro. Good job. Hey, you're finding good properties.
I appreciate it.
Where are you finding these? Or is that have you
Yeah,
used the lead? Okay.
I'm doing it lead gen. Yeah.
Okay, the lead gen's insane. I mean, you are finding
Yeah.
good stuff. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. Cool. Good job. Excellent. I'm glad that's
I
working out.
appreciate it.
Okay, bro. Take it easy. Later. NorCal. It's SoCal calling NorCal. How are you?
I'm okay.
I know.
I had a couple.
Because you live in Northern California. If you lived in Southern California, you'd be like, I'm awesome.
No, it's good up here. We're good. Expensive, but good. I had a question. So I had created a working relationship with a realtor who brought me a property, and the owner I just liquidate his whole portfolio. I guess he's getting out of the real estate game and wanting to go. He owns a pretty successful restaurant chain, wants to put more money into that. Anyways, that's his motivation. So he gave me two properties to take a look at, and I'm trying to look and see what I guess the best option of if it even is worth trying to work a deal or not. And then I kind of backed away from him because it's a four, one of them is a fourplex and the other one is a duplex. They both are in the need of a little bit of work, not too much, but they're great Section 8 rentals. They don't cash flow as far as your guys' metrics, but it is California. It's a little bit different. The rents are incredibly, I mean, over here, Section 8 rent, you can get a lot more than what it, allows in most states. So I'm not really sure how to even take a look at it though, because I'm kind of brand new to all this. And then, so I kind of backed away from it. And he said that he threw in bucket listings he wants to sell. And if we can make a deal for all four, he's willing to go creative. So I just thought I'd ask.
Absolutely. Send me the address. Let's take a look. So what's his motivation?
Right.
What's the main motivation?
I'm on the phone. I'm sorry. What was that? What did you ask me? What's his motivation?
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, so he's, like I said, wants to get out of the real estate business. He owns Dave's Chicken. I don't know if they have Dave's Chicken down there, but they have it up here.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's the owner of that restaurant, one of the owners
Oh, okay.
that's selling these properties. So did you get the addresses?
Let me check it out here.
I sent them to you.
Oh, I have to accept you. There we go. I accept you.
Message.
Huh.
Oops.
Did it come through or no? It says I'm full
Hold
on
on.
my
No, I don't think it did. Yeah. Hold on.
Okay. I waved to you. Well, shoot. I don't know what's going on. Let's see.
All right.
There we go. Got it. In Santa Rosa.
Okay, that's one of them. Yeah. Now I live currently in Santa Rosa, so I know these
Okay.
areas very well. My husband owns him and his partner have a construction company.
Oh, good. That's good.
So he said that the scope of work wasn't crazy expensive. It would be okay.
Good. That's great to have him.
Yeah,
Okay.
to bounce prices off of.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, he's good for something. Right? Jeez. So we're looking at a fourplex, but what is the little house next door? Is that part of it?
That's another. It's honestly, yeah, it's part of it. It's on the same property.
Okay.
It's part of it.
So
And he gave me all the rents for all of them.
what's
They're
the total?
currently rented. All of them are currently rented out. The total
Okay.
of all the rents for that property
Yeah.
is $9,575. Or yeah, 9,775.
Okay. Cool. And does he own this outright, Mr. Dave's Hot Chicken?
Yes, I think he owns it outright. I'm pretty sure he does. He might have a small line of revolving credit, but I believe it's between the two properties that he had done something. I'm not really sure.
Let me know if you need help lifting anything, though.
Did you get the second address? Same city.
Yeah. Let me work on the first one real quick.
Okay.
So okay, so double checking to see if he has a mortgage. Okay. I mean, they're kind of overpriced, but it is
That's what,
California.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I told, and I told the realtor that too. I go, well, I could see why, because I guess they were in escrow. Then while they were in escrow, the reports came back, and then the person that was buying them came back at them and wanted to just offer $1 million. And I said,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it while I was in escrow. I would have done that beforehand, and told him that beforehand. But I do see why he came back at you with that price. It does need a bit more work than I was thinking. They're not like, if you want to bring them up to Section 8 standards, you got to do X, Y, and Z.
Okay,
And
good.
because, Section 8 is the kind of properties that they look like. And so he's like, okay, well, yeah, I see that too. I don't know. But he's like, well, how about this? If I give you 2 pocket listings, you could put them all together and come at me with a deal. He's open to creative. And I said, okay, well, let me take a look. And so at that point I got overwhelmed. And I'm like, I don't know what to do here.
No. Yeah, no, I see where he's going. Like, yeah, it's so how much did your husband say, do you think he's figuring rehab on these?
He says at least he says 30,000
Okay.
because of the roof damage on one of them. I mean, it's not crazy bad, and I know
No, they're not
it's not
horrible,
crazy bad, especially for our area.
but I like it.
No,
Yeah. Okay, so
yeah. The fact that the one comes with the other house is cool.
yeah, that's pretty sweet. And that's a whole did we figure that rent into the 9,500?
I believe. Let me see. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. So
Because that's too. That's another thing. He has them rented at under market value for our area. It's way under. I think they're renting at like 18.95, which is I don't understand. They must have been in there for a while, and they're a month to month. So we could potentially, I mean, I don't like the idea of getting them out of there and getting new people, but that's up to the buyer, right?
Yeah,
Whoever
that's
buys
a,
them.
but it's also, yeah, sometimes it's advantageous to have somebody there.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah, for sure.
So here's where I'd come at him with I would go seller finance on this.
Okay.
You can come in with a like a $73,000 down payment. That's right around 5% of their asking price. And again, we don't want to go over their asking price right away at all,
Right,
because
right.
I think their asking price is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But to say, hey, the only way to reach your asking price and for us to cash flow is to do that. You know, that a down payment of $7,250, and that's what he's asking. The total number of rents we're saying is 9,500. Is that correct?
No, not for both properties, just for that one. But yeah,
Right, for the fourplex with the house,
yeah, that's what it comes out to. Yeah,
9,500.
yeah.
Okay, and so what I do is I would say I would offer 9,500 divided by 4, so 25% is that's 2,300. I would round that up to 2,500 a month is what we would give them as a payment.
Okay.
And that should help it cash flow.
Okay.
And so that's the offer I would give them, and just say, hey, this is where I got all my brains together, and we sat down, because the only way for this to cash flow is to go this route. And so if that's something you're interested in, we're okay. We can totally do that. That would be what
Okay.
we would offer.
Okay. And then so you just suggest doing the property separately then?
Yeah, figure them out separately for sure.
Okay.
And let's do one at a time and just see where they're at, so we
Okay.
know what to do, because we cash flow
Yeah.
pretty significantly if we can get it at 25. So
Okay.
you've got room to move, but do it slowly.
Mhm.
I don't want you to go too fast on
Okay.
looking up. The beauty is, where we can give them more is we can say we'll go 1.5.
Okay.
And so we're always good to increase the purchase price. That's totally fine, because we're doing it over 10 years, hopefully. So if it comes to it, that's where we increase. We won't increase that the 2,500. We want to keep that if we can. We would like to go for a 10-year balloon as well.
Okay. 10-year balloon. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, because we want to be in it for long enough that we can make back some of our money and get
Right.
everything rolling. Okay.
Which is what I told him, and he wasn't mad about it. He was like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. So hopefully he'll take this and be good. Okay, cool. That helps a lot.
And tell him you'll go eat some chicken too. Like, why not?
Yeah, for sure. Huh. He actually, I guess he lives not that far, so might do that.
No, he's killed it there too. Okay, good.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Okay, take care. All right, JPR, what's up? JPR, are you there? I'm going to 77 if you're not. Okay, 77, what's up?
Hey,
Trent,
I just wanted to get some clarification. Oh, you want to let him go? He can go. JPR,
ready? You're good. You got the nod.
I'm good. I'm good. We can take me down.
Okay, cool. All right, 77, you got it.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I just wanted some clarification on what we were talking about earlier. I moved on from that deal. I'm working on another one right now. Have a call in about an hour.
Great.
You were saying the problem with the last one is the rate was too high. So if the rate had been like 3%, you could have upsold it at 8% to somebody else, and that would have made it a good deal.
Oh no, so that's only when we do a lease option. So that's when I say that I would do that. That's only when we buy turnkey house that is we get a nice low interest rate. For a lease option, we can charge a little bit more, and that's where our margin is. But for yours, it wasn't a lease option, was it? I don't think we were looking to do that. Yeah. So sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you with that. So that's
no worries.
That's
okay.
Questions.
Okay. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it, because I've heard Richard say so many times that most of the trust acquisitions, especially in Texas, don't traditionally cash flow, whatever the case is. But if it has a low rate, it's still worth it. I'm just trying to see what you think about that.
So here's I guess the best way I've got 3 of them, none of them cash flow, but I've got one, like the one that I've got a tenant in there. He pays 2,500. And so I'm getting 2,500. I'm paying 500, but I'm getting equity in this beautiful house. And the house is, it actually came with equity. But I'm just building equity each year. So that's why I like that. And I'm only having to pay $500 to do that. It's not a bad investment for me. It's okay. I'd much prefer cash flow, but it just doesn't. And that's okay, because I went in with a bunch of equity. And so I have 100,000 in equity, and that helps a ton. So, that's the reason that kind of works. We always want to get cash flow, like make that your focus for sure, because that's way more sellable. The reason those turnkeys work is because we didn't do any down payment. We just walked into them, and that was it. And we took over the mortgage. And so we're okay. It's not bad. We didn't have to pay $20,000, $30,000 down. We just walked in and we got equity. And so that's why sometimes it's okay, but that's not the norm. Figure most of the times it's not okay.
Okay, got it. That makes sense. Okay, so for example, this one turnkey property in San Antonio, worth about 270. They owe 250. I can send you the address. On Skywatch, it says it loses just 95 after all expenses, after all the estimates. 3.1% rate. So would I move on from that if the margin is that close? It's almost cash flowing.
You're cash flowing, so you're kind of good. They're paying your mortgage, and you get to keep the house at the end. If you kind of look at it that way.
Not sure if you heard me. Maybe you did. It's negative 95 a month.
Negative. I thought you meant positive 95. Not brutal,
but that's that's based on the rental estimate. So it could rent higher.
Okay, let me take a look at it and see what we can do.
Sure.
So you're right on the cusp of it being. And how much down do you have to go?
We are still negotiating, but I'm at like 3.5 or something like that. 3.5 down, maybe 4.
Okay, so there's no equity that supports that. Okay, it says 20,000 in equity, but I can find that 20,000 in there really fast in repairs and closing costs. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So be careful about. I always go with nothing on sub twos. I don't offer anything down. Those are the great deals.
Okay.
Those are the ones that we really like. Let me take a look at it though, and I'll see. Again, if it's perfect, pristine, you don't have to do a thing to it. That's gives you some advantages as well. 723, is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, let me check it out. Let's see. It's spinning. But I really like the fact that you're lowballing on your down payment too. That's cool. Know that you can come up, so it's not horrible to come a little bit up on that, but always the purchase price in any kind of seller finance situation, that's where you want to change. Yeah, so they're saying about 24 in equity, and they got a 3%. See, that's all good stuff. And their estimated payment is 11. And what are you saying the rents are? So the 1,200.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm seeing 2,095 is what I'm seeing. So 2,100.
Great. Okay, that's not horrible. So, and then we'll go. No down payment, and they're asking 279. And what do they owe on their? What is it here? So they owe 248. So that's what we're kind of offering is 248. Let's see where we're at. No, I'm okay with this one. This isn't. Let's see. What am I doing wrong? This is And you sure it's $2,000 a month?
Well, that's what I see on the Zillow rental estimator. It says
Go.
2,000. Yeah. Say
And
again.
then, yeah, no, that totally works. That's and then we'd have to pay about $11.50 a month. I think you're kind of better than you think you are here. That's not a bad. We're not horrible. Let me look at
Okay.
it. What kind of repairs does it need? It's
I would
not
say the only
beautiful.
thing. Yeah, I'd say the only thing is paint.
Yeah. And that's the beauty is the entire thing needs to be painted because that baby blue is vomitous.
Yeah.
And so we can totally beat them up on that and just be like, hey, it's going to cost me $5-6 grand to paint it. So that's part of their equity that goes away. And so it just solidifies your reason for saying, yeah, they've got a lot of bad paint in here. The carpets look like they're okay. I'm seeing some stains though that might be they kept most of them out of their shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it needs some renovation for sure. The baby blue closet needs to be taken care of. Like, yeah, there's a lot of little things in here for sure. And overall, the landscaping needs a lot of help. They've got solar, so we got to find out if the solar is paid off or if it's got any issues solar wise. And the siding, it needs some attention for sure.
Yeah.
And that air conditioner is probably pretty old. Okay, so not bad. Yeah, I think taking over this one is not a problem. But let them know, say, I know you think there's some equity here, but I'm just looking at the repairs that need to happen. That's going to eat up that equity so fast.
Okay. And that was honestly really helpful for me to hear you just go through, take a look at that and just list off all the things that you see just from your perspective. That helps me a ton. Definitely going to carry that with me going forward.
Yeah, and know that I do that just so I have a reason to tell them their equity is not
what it's. Yeah.
All of this is move-in ready, no problem. You don't have to do a thing. In reality.
Okay, that's also part of what I was thinking too. It is rent ready, right? Yeah. Okay.
Got it. It is rent ready all day, but I don't let them think that ever.
Right.
Never, ever. Yeah, because you want to get that equity. That equity is important.
Right.
And it's not it's just 20 grand, but I mean, but
it's better.
I think you'll be fine. I think you're going to be really fine, actually. I mean, this shows. Yeah.
Well, hey, if I get it under contract and you might want it, I'm not charging the arm and leg. I'm realistic, so I mean.
Okay, good. No, I love
throw that out there for you.
I do have one in San Antonio. It's just way nicer. But yeah, this might work. Yeah, we'll talk about it for sure.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna work on that one, and then just to recap, so I know what I'm. So, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Yeah, that one car garage just kind of kills the deal for me because that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, no, that's fine. All good. But in general, just so I know what I'm taking away, these are what kind of most of my deals look like. Just probably better.
Great.
Okay, so if I'm coming across stuff that's close, if I throw it in Skywatch, it says minus 95. The condition is decent. It's rent ready. Good location. Good interest rate. Below 4%. That's something to move on consistently. Try to get those. I just kind of want something to give me a sense of
your numbers because I think you're more than 95 negative. I do.
I overestimated everything just by a little bit on Zillow as far as property tax, HOA, what's the other one? Insurance. I go up by like $50 or whatever on all of them.
Yeah, so I've got taxes is 463, insurance 97, HOA is 13. So PITI is 573. Is that what you're getting?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, 377, 93, 13. And just for the sake of
I really want you to get the mortgage statements on these too, because sometimes that payment of $1150 includes insurance and taxes.
Right.
So you got depends on the state, but most everybody, like if you have a mortgage on your house, your your PITI is your principal and your taxes and insurance are escrowed. And so it comes out every month. They charge you every month so that because insurance is monthly, but taxes are twice a year. And so they put that into an escrow account and they pay the taxes for you. And so what's kind of cool is sometimes once you get the mortgage, sometimes they have a nice fat escrow account and nobody pays attention to it. And it could have 10 grand in it, And so that's another, I've had like, I don't know if this one, let me just see here. I'll tell you. So like this, the house I just bought. And so this is like the statement that you get and it locks everything in. And if I weren't so blind, let me find it. I think it's the second page.
No rush.
On this one, it has, it doesn't say it, but I think it had like $6,500 in escrow.
Okay.
So like, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Forgive. Okay.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
So that doesn't.
Awesome.
Okay. So
yeah, I think that takes care of everything. And so it sounds like I don't need to switch my strategy. Just keep coming after these same deals and they'll be all right.
You're being nice and aggressive, and I love that. So stay aggressive. Like if I'd said that in front of my wife, she would have gone to a whole cheer of be aggressive. But being aggressive is huge. But also make sure you get mortgage statements when you want to do sub-twos. That's essential. I ask for access to the portal so I can poke around and see exactly what's in there. But yeah, mortgage statement's huge.
Okay, awesome. I always tell the agents beforehand, these are rough estimates. And then once I get the mortgage statement that finalizes my offers, that's when I know solid numbers. That's what I'm telling them. Okay.
Tell me what your first name is.
My first name?
Yeah, because I got you as 77.
Yeah, that's Will upside down, actually.
There we go. Love it. Okay, Will. So is that your name, or you just like doing Will upside down?
Well, my full name is William Smith, but I just go by Will.
Okay, sweet. All right, perfect. And where do you live? Where are you out of?
I'm in San Antonio.
Oh, you are? Oh, good. Okay, that's good. That's great. Well, maybe I might need you to walk my property for me.
I was just about to offer. Actually, if you need somebody to walk the property, I'm definitely available. Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. Yeah, no, that's great to know. Thanks, Will.
And then there was something I actually wanted to talk to you about as far as us collaborating. I don't want to get you in trouble, so I'm not going to go into detail. But if we could find the time to communicate directly about just one little thing I saw.
Absolutely. DM me anytime.
I'd love to work with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, DM me anytime for sure.
Okay. Will do. Thank you so much.
Yeah, excellent. All right. Paul, what's going on?
I wasn't even working today, but I stumbled across something just talking to a guy, and I want to find out
if great.
This is a possible deal of some kind, because it doesn't cash flow. It's another California thing. And a friend of mine is selling a $1.6 million house. He's got about $300,000 to $400,000 equity. He says the interest rate's around 6.5%. His payments are $10,500 a month on this thing, including the taxes, insurance, and all in for his payment. But the part that gets interesting is he's willing to take a 6-year balloon, and I might be able to go push that further.
Okay, well, let's hold up for a second. He has a mortgage, right?
He does have a mortgage, yes.
That's a different strategy, because that's a hybrid. So you're gonna balloon him on his equity, but you still have to pay the mortgage.
Correct. Yeah, you're going to continue to pay the $10,500 that he's paying, but I wasn't going to add any payment to that. Or maybe something very little. He's willing to wait for his money. Good. He doesn't need money right now. So play to me would be somebody trying to get. Oh, and there's no real estate agent on it. So to me, there's like an opportunity to help someone get low entry into this $1.6 million house. I just don't know if that's valuable. You understand what I'm saying?
100%. So 1.6 million. Do we know what it rents for? Any idea?
Yeah, it was. I just looked it up. I mean, this is right off of Zillow. So whether you trust this or not,
Yeah.
but I think it was 6,700 or something. Seeing this
Okay,
more for
so
an end user, like a person wants to live
yeah,
there.
this is definitely that. Yeah, this is a retail buyer for sure. But if he's willing, send me the address. Let me really look at it.
Yeah.
That's a high payment per month. That's why I'm kind of because I mean,
Welcome
there's
to California.
well, there's a $3 million one in Vegas that it's the same amount per month. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, that seems a little high.
Yeah, it includes. Okay, so here's why it's a little high. That's taxes, insurance, and fair plan.
Oh, he's got a country club membership pushed on there.
I mean,
Gotcha.
kind of. Yeah, it's right in. It's near me here. It's right here in the Santa Rosa area. It had two Santa Rosa callers today.
Yeah, it's Santa Rosa's in the house.
Santa Rosa's in the house.
Oh, okay. So let's see. So there's nothing on Zillow, so it's not listed, which is great.
No, it's by agent. Yeah,
kind of
you can
kind
find
of
it on Zillow.
Yeah, I see it on Zillow. It's kind of a ragtag house for that price. You know what I mean?
Welcome to Sonoma County.
Yeah, don't tell him that. I never
Yeah.
said that. I will deny it. Let's check.
Oh, and here's another benefit of it. It has 14 kW of solar that's paid for.
Oh, go. That's good. Yeah, but not very much. He's got like 5 panels. That's
No,
funny.
it's 14K, which should cover the entire utility bill.
Yeah, but it's only 5 panels of solar just because he doesn't have enough exposure, unless there's more on the other side, which would be weird.
I think there's more than that someplace else. I'll ask him real quick.
There's got to be, for sure. Okay, let's see. So oh shoot, I don't see his. Let me see. Trying to find his mortgage here.
And he may have tuned this place up. These pictures are from when he bought it.
Oh, okay, cool. It needed a tune-up, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that probably did tune it up. It
Well,
probably
he's
looks
got
like.
it. So, yeah, his base loan payment is 7,600. So he's at 10,000, but his balance is 1.2 million.
Correct. That's what
So
that's what it was.
for me, this would be, yeah, just take over the loan. I know he's got supposed equity, but what are the taxes here? They must be ridiculous.
They are. Yeah,
16,000.
like I said in passing, I said, hey, and I probably offered too much, but I just said, hey, if you're willing to wait long term for your money, it might be a way for somebody to get in with a low entry, and we could raise the price. You get paid out at the end of the balloon, so like a 1.7 instead of a 1.6.
Yeah,
But no money
absolutely.
down, nothing per month other than. Whoops,
Yeah,
sorry,
if he doesn't care about his equity, then you can totally do that. So
yeah,
the equity just sits until
he said, yeah. I asked him 3 times. He said he was good with waiting for the equity, as long as he could get a little more on the backside.
Yeah, no.
I said maybe we can get you 100 grand on the backside for low entry, and then just cover the mortgage payment.
No problem. Here's how I'd let's fashion this up for you. I'm assuming, let's call rents in this area of like $4,000, right? Is that for this?
No, I think those rents are accurate. You probably get $6,500.
65? Okay. So if he's willing to take like $2,000 a month with and we'll go 1.7, right? So he gets an extra 100 grand.
Okay.
and a down payment of let's call it 100 grand. See if if he's into that.
He'd do 50.
He'd do 50 grand as a down payment?
Yeah.
Well, that's better.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's go. Yeah. No, this is great. Okay, this is such a great example of motivation. Like, you found this guy's, I mean, he's a friend, but you got his motivation. He doesn't care about anything but that higher purchase price.
That's
which
it.
is awesome. We're more than happy to go
he's
170,
blinded by everything else, which is interesting.
which is delicious. So yeah, we can go 50 grand in 2000. That's insane. That'd be great. Yeah, see if that's enough for him per month, the 2 grand, and explain to him that he's going to be saving money on his taxes, because he'll be. I mean, does he have other entities? Anything else he's doing business wise? So
Yeah, he
that
does
2000
pretty well.
will get absorbed into his other businesses as expenses. He's golden. So
Explain that. Oh, so this is a question I've been asking. Does he continue to keep the tax benefits of the loan?
no.
What are you speaking to right now when you say, because
So I'm
he's not
saying
taking
we're giving him $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
So that would be considered income, because that's his, but if he sold it outright, he'd be paying taxes on 1.5 million all at once. So that'd be like 30 grand. I mean, 30%, usually 25% of that. So instead of him,
but
yeah.
Okay, so I'm missing something. So he
No,
owes 1.2 on it.
Okay.
Okay. There's the loan payment all in on that is 10,500. So if I'm hearing you right, you're saying give him the 10,000. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. That's the problem with the hybrid. So yeah, I'm sorry. You're totally right. I totally got.
Yeah.
I got too
I was
excited.
thinking almost like, no, you're putting 2,000 there. I'm saying
I'm sorry.
just
Ignore the
0.
2,000. No, 0, and yeah, exactly. Just take over the loan is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm saying 0, take over the loan.
I'm sorry. I went full seller finance.
Right. We're trying to find the buyer, the end user or whatever, that is looking to get into a house and they can't afford to get into a house for the down payment. This is no down payment, and you're in. Just make the payment, and then in 6 years you're going to come up with 1.7.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's you're dead right. I veered off onto a seller finance. Golly, the fact that he doesn't give a crap about the other stuff is awesome. Yeah. If he'll take 50 grand for us to take over his loan, I think that's great.
Yeah.
But again, hard to sell. This entire thing's hard to sell just because of the
That's
price
what
tag.
I'm getting at. Yeah. It's almost like, would I have to also find the buyer for that?
Basically. Yeah. So here's what I would suggest. Go onto Facebook groups beforehand. You've got this locked up. He's your buddy. He'll do it with you. You're good. So you really don't need a contract. Go onto Facebook and just put, retail buyers in Santa Rosa, and you'll find a Facebook group that has retail buyers. It's interesting because, you would think if they can afford 10 grand a month, they wouldn't have a problem getting a loan. But I got family that they're worth billions. They can't get a loan because they don't have income. They've got their,
that's a real problem.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think, but yeah. So that's who you want to go after, is somebody who's massively wealthy, but just can't get they don't have a W-2 because they own their own business, or
And now that you mentioned that, you just pointed me in the right direction. I meet with a guy tomorrow or I go dirt bike riding with a guy tomorrow that I know is massively wealthy, and they actually have some 1031 exchange money that they need to get rid of, but not 1.7. So I don't know. There's no way to 1031 into the 50, sure. Is there?
Into the 50? Absolutely. Yeah. It's still money going towards a property, so you should be fine.
Oh, that would be sweet.
I might be
able to connect 2 friends.
There you go. No, but I mean, he can 1031 exactly what the down payment, what his 1031 needs to be, can be his down payment. No problem.
Nice. That could work. And then that way, because this guy loves owning real estate. And so
there
that
you
could
go.
do it. So the only thing that would the only possible way to sweeten this pot more is, lowering the purchase price, but that doesn't matter in this situation, or not going to happen. So the only other way would be to extend the balloon. That's the only way to make this deal better.
Yeah, it should be a 10-year balloon, because you're going to have to pay off the entire thing, which that's the difference between most sub 2s. You're just paying off the year. You're just paying off the 30-year loan.
If it had a 10-year balloon, I might do that, because almost certainly the 1.7 is going to be worth a lot more than that in 10 years.
Absolutely. Up there. 100%.
Yeah.
Wait,
that would be one that I would almost be interested in there.
Do I get a finder's
6
fee?
years. Sell it to myself and give a finder's fee. So, okay, cool. I just wanted to confirm as I'm pondering all this stuff, I just trying to figure it out.
Hey, Paul, you've reached the point of being obsessed. So this is great. I mean, that's when you're thinking about when you're not supposed to be working, that's awesome.
Exactly.
Okay, what bike?
Long drive.
They're asking in the chat, what bike do you ride?
KTM 500 right now. It's actually a street legal KTM 500 that I ride take into the moto track tomorrow in Livermore, a place called Club Moto. Yeah, that's
awesome. Okay, well, I used to do X Games for years and years and years, so the moto world has got a big part of my heart. I think it's amazing what they can do with
I'm mostly an off-road guy, but
I know. I can imagine. You're like, all right, bro. Have fun.
Nice. Thank you.
Okay. Take care. All right. Main man, what's up?
How you doing, man?
Good.
Yeah, man. I had a situation that I ran across. I needed to hurry up and get some help, and you're my guy as far as that goes. It was a situation where a seller got, like, he trying to unload a lot of properties, right? Like, say it's in somewhere in the Midwest area, I think Ohio or somewhere. And he got, like, but he wants to, it's a different deal because we never ran across this. He wants to put like 20% down on his own loan. And then basically, so the buyer will come in with not no money down because the seller is trying to put 20% down on the properties, and then you take the seller take the properties and just manage them. So I guess, I don't know what type of, it sounded like a good deal because he was like, yeah, you could come in with no money down, but it's not necessarily the same how we do, because he want to put 20% down on his own with his own money so the bank would pay him out, and then we're stuck with the properties, managing the properties all outright with no money down. I guess, I don't know how would that work. Is that something that sounds about right, or is that
I'm not sure. That's yeah, I've never heard that. So maybe I'm missing something. Okay, so
basically, say we could just do it for one house. Say that it's a property I was looking at, and I asked him about seller finance. He said he was interested, but he wanted a different way. Say he wanted to get out the real estate business, and he acquired a lot of properties. Say he said he had like 40 properties or a lot of properties, and it's in a good area too, because I work in this area. And he was just saying that, say the properties all work together was like $1.5 million. And he put 20% down for the loan, for us to get the loan. And so then the bank pay him out, because, so you know how you need a 20% down payment. He said he would put the 20% down, and then he get the loan from the bank. So he outpay, right? And then that leaves us with the property and just paying the bank back whatever interest rate they give us. But these properties all turnkey, I'm thinking, because the property I was looking at was really nice, and he sounded like he's talking about horse pasture, so it sounded like he's kind of fairly young sounding. But I don't know. I'm like, man, I got to get Trent on this. I don't know if he might want to. This sounds like something interesting. I don't know how to,
that. Seller finance. Yeah, absolutely. Seller finance does the same kind of thing without having to get a loan. And so I think if we talk him into, you know what I mean? Talk him into, like, he wouldn't have to put 25% down. He already owns the stuff. we would give him money and take over everything. Like I'd like to talk to him.
he didn't like that idea because he don't want to. He said he just want to get the cash. He don't want to hold a note. So he's saying pace is almost it's tricky because
no. I see what he's doing now. Yeah. So he wants to
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. So he wants to incentivize us, get us the loan, and be kind of a co-signer essentially. So he
was like, you don't gotta have right. I never heard nothing like that. I said, you know what? I just got the phone. I said, this is interesting.
No, I like that
so
a lot.
look, Trent, I need to get you. Yeah, I need to get you. I can slide, listen, I can pass this off. I was finna send him an offer on one of these properties, and I'm gonna be like, look, I'm finna bring my partner in on this one. And you could just kind of see, because that's you'll be acquiring, it's some properties that's in, I think, Cincinnati or somewhere. It's a lot of properties, like 40 of them. And
okay.
He got a whole
for sure Cincinnati? Is it for sure?
For sure. I asked. No, it's for sure. I asked him. I'm like, hold up, this is interesting. I'm like, this is way sound too good to be true. But he was for real about it. I mean, it makes sense. He was like, I'm tired of the real estate. He got so many properties, and he just tired of them dealing with them. And
sometimes you get too rich.
That was, yeah, that's what it sounded like to me. So I'm like, man, I don't even know how I would do that. Like, what would be a fine? I mean, that'd be a nice little substantial, how would that work?
Let's call him and find out. Yeah, let's give him a call and see what, if he can explain the whole thing to me, then I'd love to look into it for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'll do is I got his number. What I'll do is I guess we could set up, because I already talked to him. I guess we could try to call him now, or I don't know how we want to do that. Maybe
here, I'll set up a time. Because I'll be off here in about a half hour. Okay. Hey, Marilyn, can you send and tell me your first name?
Jermaine.
Send Jermaine my Calendly, and if you want to set up a time today, because I'll be off by 1:30.
Yeah, this is yeah, okay. So I'll do that because I just got it sounds like he really anxious about it, and I know you can, whatever that is. I never heard nothing like it, but I know you can probably figure that out. It makes sense if it's all turnkeys and it's like 40 and it's like he said it's a horse ranch in there and all type of stuff. I said,
I'd love to talk to him about it. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, I'm always willing to listen. So yeah, let's give it a call.
Right. It doesn't sound too bad. Okay. All right. So I guess I'll set up a time, man. Appreciate it. I'll do that.
Okay, bro. Okay, thanks.
All right. Yep.
I love that kind of stuff. That's the more creative, the better. That's cool. All right, Jermaine. Thanks. All right, Lynn Wynn. Lynn Wynn. Are you there? Let's see. I'm going to pull everybody else up here. Lynn Wynn, you're up. Okay. Hey, guys, if you turn on your camera, I get to you faster. So turn on your camera. Okay, Lynn Wynn, I'm gonna leave you. You might be on the phone with somebody. Hopefully, Suppressor. What's going on?
Hey, Trent.
Hey, what's going on? You got a camera?
I did what you told me. I called over 40 actually people from Tennessee to Florida. Excellent. Just getting them to call me back and just getting them to know what's wrong with the property. Why is it on sale? Why has it been for sale? I got a few people that came back to me. I got 2 people that were into possibly doing a creative finance deal, but one of them has an HOA, and it seems like it would be an amazing rental property, but it seems like the HOA might be a little trouble there, so I'm kind of not staying away from it. But she's also a realtor, and she's ready to do something creative. I also got somebody else that is possibly open to a creative deal in Florida, but there's one property in Tennessee. You told me to hit up Tennessee. I did send it to you. You said which one is my favorite. So it is the one at on Georgia Avenue. If you want to bring that one up. I've been trying to peddle this deal to think, is it a deal? It makes no sense. The property is just pure equity. It's worth $18,000, yet he's selling it for $550. Obviously, it's worth more than $500, but I can't seem to get a good deal from Buy Box or even any kind of deal. It's
I
so
don't
weird.
see-
My box gives me 44,000 that I should pay him
What's
for
on-
a $550,000 house.
What else? Georgia Avenue, is that the one you said?
Yeah.
Okay, you are a
Galveston.
talker.
Oh
You
yeah.
are on fire. Okay, you get going. It's hard to stop you.
I can
Okay.
actually deal pretty good. I just, I can get people to almost want to give me their houses. They're like, yes, send over the offer. And I just don't know what to do after that. I'm pretty much
No
like,
worries.
hey, I'll write it up.
I'm glad you're making calls. Okay, so this one, it's 550. And
Yeah.
you're getting it for how much?
I put in I said I could go as 500. That's what I was going for. But the guy has full equity in it. It's fully paid off. He's really looking just for a cash offer and looking to exit, I think, as fast as possible. But I talked to the realtor. We got along super well.
It needs to be way lower. Your offer price needs to be like.
I didn't even give him an offer. I said we'll look at 500,000 maybe.
Said 500.
Yeah, that's what I told him. Maybe like I didn't even offer anything.
Yeah, that's not low enough. You want to go way lower with a cash price. You want to go probably 350.
Oh wow. Okay. Do you think he would even be considering that? Well, the whole goal is for him to send us back another offer,
Yeah,
right?
if he wants to get out of it, that's the way to go. Otherwise, if he owns it outright, which I'm trying to see,
He owns it outright and it cash flows. From what this is what I wanted to know. Can you see if the calculations? I found that this thing cash flows from like 1 to 2K at least, and it can cash flow potentially way more because rent is about 1,200 there, and they're all rented out for 650, and it's month to month. So that's a beautiful thing, being able to kick out your tenants whenever you want.
Okay, all right, slow down. You're exhausting. you are going a million miles an hour. Okay, let's see. So
you have no idea.
I do. Oh, I can tell. Have you offered a let me just see if I don't
know. Like I said, I have not put in an offer or nothing. They're just Jorge is the realtor, and he's super nice. We got along super well, and I feel like even if there's no sell here, there was a nice bond. I don't know, this whole Spanish day, we started talking Spanish, and it just felt like he's willing to hear me out. Like he's like,
do you call May 5th Spanish Day? Is that what you just called it?
The what?
What you said yesterday? I thought you were saying because it was a Spanish day yesterday.
No. We just Jorge, and I was like, oh, you're from Mexico? He's like, yeah. We just started talking, and I'm Spanish, so got along really well. There was a good rapport that was built with him. Perfect. So like, I'll probably get other properties he's listing.
What does it rent for per month? What's
6.5K, 650 per unit, and it's fully rented consistently.
Okay, so it's 6,500.
But I couldn't find a mortgage.
Okay, and so he doesn't have a mortgage.
No, he has no mortgage, no nothing. It's like 17K of equity. I have no idea how the hell is that possible. 17K of equity in a 500.
17.8. Where do you see that?
I see that on Prime Tracers, and I see that on PropWire. They both say the same thing.
$550,000 in equity if he owns it outright.
That's what I would think. That's what I'm saying. But I see here that there's a loan. Estimated payments $42. The loan is for $8,652. I'm so confused. Rate is 4 point something. John Cochran. I don't know. It's some weird, the weirdest numbers I've ever had. So I haven't been able to pull out a contract that makes any sense.
So what I'm getting is he owns it outright. The estimated value on prop is saying like 185,000. So I don't think it's worth 550 by any stretch. I see the John Cochran 20 grand.
No, it's 20 grand. You see, I see 8 grand here as a loan, 8.652, which is just doesn't even make sense.
I see 4 different loans, but I don't. 2 of them don't have a number to them. There's the others 68 and 20.
I am so confused.
Those are old loans. Okay, that's all transaction history. That's no longer. Yeah, it looks like he owns it outright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would come in and offer them that like 350.
Do you want to help me set up that offer? Do you want to we could do this together? Yeah. We could VC on it if you want, Trent. I don't mind splitting whatever it is. I'm just this is running the numbers through BuyBox made no sense. Running the numbers through the calculator made no sense. I was like, oh, this is not working out because I guess I just don't have the right data. He owns it outright. There's no
Well, here's
mortgage.
just simple numbers, like low way down. Simple numbers is if we can get for 350, then it definitely cash flows.
Oh yeah.
I'm not. I would love to see recent pictures. I don't know how recent these are.
It's as recent as it gets, I think. But he is open to visits. He said, "When do you want to visit?" So if we have somebody in Tennessee, we could send them over.
Well, yeah, we send the buyers over.
Also, it's fully renovated. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Fully renovated. The dude did all the roofs, the water, the pipes, the walls, the HVAC.
I understand.
It's kind of like, I don't know. Is it a deal? Is it a cash flow gold mine?
At 350, it would be a great deal. That's what you offer him. And then if he doesn't like that, then say the only way to hit your offer price is to do seller financing.
Creative financing, yeah.
Yeah. So let's try that. Go ahead and hit him with your cash offer. And then when he says no, say, well, the only way to get to your 550 would be through a set of payments. And so
I already talked to him. Jorge is waiting for an offer. He's like, send over the offer. So if you want to build it with me.
Holy, I just did.
Okay.
So give him a low cash offer. If he says no, say, well, what do you think about if I go with your offer price? I will, I can give you a set of payments. Tell me what you think about that. And then
so I just to create the contract. I just put it in buy box. The 300.
Bro, it hasn't even been accepted yet. Let's baby steps.
Okay.
You're a maniac. Okay. Simplify. You of all people, simplify. Just relax and give him a cash offer. See what he says. Okay.
Over the phone, just basically like that.
With your words too.
Okay. Yeah.
Of course.
Perfect.
That's a great way to do it. It's because it's called communication. And so, yeah, just call him up and be like, "Hola," or no. So offer him that 350. Say, hey, I talked to my guys, and it looks like we could do a cash offer of 350. Is that interesting to you at all? And he'll be like, no. And then you say, well, I could make it to your asking price, but it's going to have to be on a set of payments. How's that sound? And that's it.
Okay, cool.
Boom.
I'm actually going to hop on the phone right now and do that.
Okay.
He's waiting for my call, waiting for a contract.
Great.
I'll keep you posted.
Don't worry about a contract. No contract yet.
Okay,
you have to have an agreement with a contract.
Well, that's kind of, he's like, well, look, figure out your numbers and tell me what you want and send over that contract as soon as possible. I'll check it out. And I was like,
really?
Whoa, okay. Yeah.
That's why we're doing it. Yeah, go do it. I'll drop you down. See ya. Hey, anybody else have any more energy than that? Maverick, do you have energy? Come on, bring that crazy energy. He is hilarious. He is on fire, like 20,000 miles an hour. Okay, Maverick, what do you got? Be mellow. We got to bring this down.
Mellow.
Hi, how are you?
Hi there, everybody.
Oh,
so my name is Gigi. I sent you DM'd you the information there, but basically I was making some calls the other day.
Austin, Texas? Is that the right one?
Yeah, the one in Austin.
Got it. Oh yeah, I remember. Okay.
Anyway, so the asking is 700. She's an elderly lady.
Holy moly. This place 700.
Look at the surrounding. She's kind of on the lower end of, not too much lower, but the problem, she didn't give me any inside pictures, and there aren't any when you're looking at it.
Oh, I see why it's so expensive. Okay. See the encroachment of all the apartments coming at her?
Yeah. And she really would like a developer to buy it so she can get the 7.
Yeah.
But she's kind of wanting a large down, and because she's so elderly and she just kind of wants to have that. And I'm thinking, well, not at 700. No. And she said that in February.
The only reason she wants that is because of all those. You can just see it's almost like a fire coming at them. Those apartments are going to be taking over that whole neighborhood. Yeah, I would run away from this.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll just tell her no deal.
Yeah, there's no way to get even.
Keep calling.
It's probably worth 120,000, but she will get her 700 from that developer. She just
Well,
has to
they
hold
already had an offer from a developer and it fell through. I guess he couldn't. I guess he couldn't. I don't know what the problem was, and she's not going to explain that to me.
No.
But
There'll be another one. Like with that many apartments, I mean, they probably got 1,200 units that are just coming in at them.
Yeah. So she just
There's
needs to wait,
no-
but I don't think she has the lifetime to wait.
Oh,
So
shoot. Yeah.
yeah, she's very, very elderly. I do have a couple of other questions. Let's see if I
So
can
let me
find them.
just tell you, this would be an insane deal at the cost of the house because it's going to get taken over. And that so all I would offer is 200 grand and say, hey, we can come in and give you 200 grand.
Cash?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would do on this, just
I'll do
because that's
that.
what it's.
I'll
And
just
tell her,
tell her,
say,
hey.
200 grand, you're going to die soon. So that's a lot of money. No, don't say that. That's terrible. That's so bad.
I'll pass the other part. I do have some other questions. Is there any way, my son and I are doing this sort of, and I'm upstairs and he's downstairs. Is there any way that we can look at this together without having to get another account?
Yeah, you'd have to do 2 Discord accounts for sure.
Okay,
Yeah, I've got this. Yeah. So yeah, because all my VAs, I would love for them to share mine, but we can't.
Okay. The other question that I have is, I hear you talk about the 1% rule. If you don't want to explain it to me and it's somewhere in the Discord, I'll be happy to look at it there. But I want to hear the whole thing put together.
Okay. The biggest part of everything that I teach is it's simple. So
that's why I want to hear.
Find out the rents. What are the rents of something? And then you want to find things that are 1%. The rents are 1% of the purchase price. So in this situation, we would have to, like, it's a $700,000 place. So what would the rents have to be?
1% of 7,000.
1% of 700,000.
7,000 per month.
Yeah, per
Okay.
month. That's it. So
what
if
about
that place rented for $7,000 a month, now we can talk to them. So what I do is I look in places like, Iowa, Memphis, Tennessee, Chattanooga, all those kind of places, because they have a lot of, and Cleveland is awesome. And anywhere in Ohio, they have places that are $200,000 renting for $2,000 a month. Okay. And so that's the 1% rule. That's all it is. So simple.
But what do you do with the rest of the numbers? Like, say for example, say we're going to offer and try to make this work, but it's not.
So that 1% rule only gets you on the phone. Okay. So that's the reason to call.
Okay.
And then ignore the 1% rule because you got on the phone.
Right.
Now you're going to go after seller finance. You're going to find out the motivation of the sellers. And then you're going to decide, hey, is this a cash deal or is it seller finance or is it mortgage takeover? Like which one is? Okay. So it's the way to simplify getting somebody on the phone. That's the whole point.
Okay.
So if the rents are high enough to be 1% of the purchase price, then more than likely it's going to cash flow once we get to that point. That's the whole reason for the 1% rule.
Okay. And then I just figure out, well, I'll let you talk me through the rest of it once I get them to say something like agree to either seller financing.
And so what I want you to do, get on the phone, call them, because you're good at calling. You don't need to practice that, I'm sure. You get on, you call them, and you say, okay, thank you for the motivation. You're getting to the end of your call. Do you have any other properties? Is always a part of that call. And you say, let me sit down and run my numbers. Now you don't have any pressure to run your numbers. You've got their motivation. Now you get to figure out your strategy. Which way are you going to go? Okay. So like, I know suppressor is like on fire. So you just want to slow down. But that's the whole point. Like I try to make it simple because when you sit and listen to Richard, like my ears start to bleed because there is like, he's got so much going on and he is on fire and he's like, and then we do this and then this and this. He's got it down. I mean, but he's been doing it for 4 years. The rest of us have been doing it for 3 weeks and we're just trying to figure it out. And so that's the simplest way to do it. Okay. And so in the chat, you're asking, the 1% rule again just to repeat it, 1% of if the rents are 1% of the purchase price of the home, then it's worth calling. That
Is that purchase price of the, is that not the asking price, but the purchase price, what they bought it for?
It's the same thing.
Okay.
It's the asking price. Yeah, because we're going to talk them down on that. We're going to be doing other things, but I just want to get you guys on the phone because again, like you've seen with multiple people. I mean, Will was a good example. He's getting so many deals because he's been talking to so many people. And so it's just like, that's the key is you just got to get on the phone and get those pocket listings. Those are what's great.
Just one other thing with this lady here in Texas. She kept saying 250. If I can get the sucker for 250 cash, is that something that would be interesting to somebody?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's what I'm going to offer.
And purely because you can see the encroachment of what's going to happen, and and you're on the end, so you can be the holdout. I mean, there is at ESPN, which is in Connecticut, there's a single house in the middle of their entire compound, and it's a guy that just held out. And so I think they finally in the last couple of years paid him like $6 million just to get the heck out of the way. So it's one of those things where you just, you can, like, this is so obvious. The aerials are just saying, coming in.
Yeah, she's definitely looking at that development. So
they've got about 30 houses, 20 houses to go, and they're going to take it all over. All right. Okay. Good job. It's fine. That's a cool find. Like, talk to everybody in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's a good neighborhood.
Okay. Thank you.
Take it easy. All right, Freedom. What's up?
Okay, so I called the realtor back and she said that they have a construction loan.
Okay. How much?
Oh, I don't know. There's 40 of those things and they've got 4 of those units left. So I'd assume that it's, I don't know.
So it's their overall construction loan. So what does she want to do with it then? They just want cash. That's it.
I guess. Well, I did exactly what you said. I just called her and I offered what you told me to offer her. And she goes, there was just a long pause. And she goes, but they can't do that. There's a construction loan.
Yeah. So they don't own them. That's the biggest part of that. So they just don't.
Right. And I guess, I guess my big question here is, when you looked it up, it told you that there wasn't a loan because the construction loan wouldn't.
They don't.
I'm sorry.
Up.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. And I told her that. I said, well, when I looked it up, I didn't see a loan. And she goes, yeah, because she was being very sweet to me, but she's like, that's because, honey, there's a construction loan. So yeah, they built 40 of them. I sent you the map just for what's in giggles, but there's 4 of them left. So am I just going to wash my hands of this and move on?
Yep. That's exactly what. Yep.
All right. Well, I learned a good lesson. All right. Well, then I'm just going to.
And the good lesson here is new construction's a whole different animal. There's no motivation.
I didn't figure there was going to be, but I just thought with having a group of them, that might be kind of interesting to someone. That was the only reason I called.
The best thing, I mean, and it's usually for a retail buyer, but if you can get in on the first phase of those kind of communities,
I know, yeah,
you're guaranteed to make some money.
I know, it was worth a try.
Okay, good job. Whatever happened with the dream house?
It's still under contract, and I don't know what to do at this point. So stay
in touch. Yeah, because if it's still under contract and it hasn't gone all the way through, just stay in touch.
And so do I just give them a verbal offer like I did with this lady?
Yeah, absolutely. Say, hey, I just want to give you a backup offer just in case you guys fall out of.
So I guess I'd have to crunch the numbers with you.
Yeah, but also, it's the beauty is it's your threshold, whatever you want to pay. So you want to do seller finance with them, right?
Yeah.
But it's again, whatever you want to pay a month, you get to decide.
But don't I also have to give them money down?
Yeah, Do 5%.
Do 5%, and then how would I figure out what the monthly payment is?
I could just go by the rents, and then I take a quarter of the rents, and I say that that's the payment per month.
Right. Okay. So if it's going, all right. So I just take a quarter of what of the she said it was rented out before at 1,400. So whatever a quarter of that is. I'm not good at math.
No,
Okay.
yeah. So if I mean if it's $2,000 a month, you pay them $500 a month. Super simple.
Right. Oh, that was
I'm
much
not-
easier.
I'm super not good at math. That's why,
That was
that's why-
smart. Rounder up.
Always.
Okay. Thank you so very much. I'll go
You're
find
welcome.
another one. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
See you. All right, Lin Win. Lin Win. Oh, you're here. How are you?
Hey, I'm sorry. I keep trying to unmute myself, but it's not working. But it's
No
fine.
worries. No worries at all. How are you?
Oh, good. So, quick question. If I
You're very
had
side-
I'm sorry.
You're very sideways.
Because of my phone.
There we go. How are you?
If I have a property that is in the they have an estate sale, is that even worth trying to do a creative deal with them, because they're kind of just wanting to like get the property so quick? Or
How well, it all depends. So an estate sale isn't really a thing. That's more for the goods and stuff inside. So has it been already given to somebody else in the family? Did somebody get it?
yes, it's gone through probate, I believe.
Already been through probate, which is good. Okay, and guys, that's the reason we do a trust, is because if you do a trust, then you can get hit by a truck and die, and nothing goes through probate. Probate costs about 12 to 20 grand for realtors and everything. So it's been through probate. Now the heir has it. Am I right? So
Yes.
so the grandson or a son or somebody received the property?
Yes, somebody in the family has the property. A few of
Okay.
them. Actually, it's a few of them divided.
Okay. So
Among-
what's their motivations for? Do they just want to get rid of it? They don't want to deal with it?
They just want to get rid of it, but they renovated the property. They did some. It's still a little bit outdated, but they've done some like renovation, like a little bit granite tops and cabinets, paint over, and carpets.
Okay.
But not so much. It's still a little outdated. Wasn't sure if it's like even worth like going like making an offer on them, because they're trying to. They've gotten some offers, like just regular offer with other people, but if the financing have fell through, so it's made them the market a little longer. But I wasn't sure if it's, and of course they're not going to do a cash offer because the property is not that it's not in a horrible condition. It's
No, cash offers aren't always just horrible condition. There's always a reason to do a cash offer. People want to just get out of it and get their money. But send me the address. Let's take a look at it. Let's see if it's got something, if it's got some teeth.
Okay. Let's see. It is. Oh, actually, I have it on my phone. Let me see.
No problem. And then just right click on my my picture and then hit message, and then you can send it over to me.
Okay. Do you want to skip me and go back to me so I could give some time to look at to send you the address?
Yeah, that's fine. Totally fine.
Okay. Let me.
Hang tight there.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see. Let's bring up cameras. Anybody got a camera going here? Sorry, I just clicked open everything for some reason. There we go. All right, let's go to Teflon. Don't.
Hey man, how you doing?
Teflon Dominant? Is that?
No, Teflon Don.
Oh, Teflon Don, MIT.
Yes, sir.
So you go to
How you
MIT
doing,
then.
Mr. Trent?
Good. How you doing?
Good man. So I actually have two deals right now that I'm actually One of them is about to close. I'm not close, but I'm about to close with the seller.
Great.
And I sent him the proof of funds. So what he asked me was, he was like, what is stopping you from 4 or 5 years down the line before the balloon payment is done, from just not paying me 2 months and not paying me 2 months and just getting that deed of trust handed back to me, and it will just be like, oh, it's back in my name now. So I told him that check out, like I gave him some of the properties that that we have in the proof of funds chat, and I sent him that, and I made a proof of funds, but he's not really how you say, I mean, like he's an older chap, so he's been in the game for like a long time, so he's not taking my proof of funds as credible, I guess you can say. So that's one thing.
Which one did you use?
The transaction funding.
I hate that one. It's not legit. So
yeah. So I mean, and he's like he's wanting to sign. He's like, just give me a few days. He's bedridden right now. Well, not bedridden, but like he's sick right now. So he was like, give me like 3-4 days, and then whenever we get this, we can have some dinner and get signed over dinner. I told him, all right, cool. The deal is okay. I checked the cash on cash return. It's like 16.9% without an assignment, and that's after closing costs, assuming closing costs is like 1.3%, because I'm just going off of like what state I'm in. It's the place is in Atlanta, and I'm just going off that closing cost is like 1.3% or like 1.4%. So without an assignment, it was like 16.9% cash on cash. That's for the first one. For the second one that I have right now, I'm dealing with this lady, and she has a property out in Tampa. And I'm actually going out to a dinner meeting with her tomorrow. She's actually based out here in Atlanta as well. So I was like, okay, let's have a dinner meeting. Let's let's chop it up. Let's see where we can go. So I'm coming up with a deal right now. She has a triplex out in Tampa, and no HOA. But the thing is, 2 of them right now are occupied, and 1 of them right now is being renovated, and that one is not being. And that one's not being rented out right now because it's being renovated, And she also has a back lot where it is zoned to build 7 to 8 more units. So it's not quite the one. So it's not quite the 1%, I guess you can say, of the rent yet, but it has the potential to be 1% of the 1% of the rent.
Right. And I never buy. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Try to never, ever, ever buy potential. Okay, I buy what's actually happening. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So the potential is shiny objects. I mean, always decide on what it is right now. That's what you're buying.
From right now, what I seen, I did both of the estimates. Like I did, if we were to, if like, let's say for instance, if someone from Grandin wanted to, build 7 to 8 more units in the back, I did the cash on cash return of that, and that's like a 30%, cash on cash return. But but now I'm looking at this one right here, so right now the rent is about, I would say, like $4,900, and the cash on cash return here is 15.2 with an assignment fee.
Okay. So that's I like to be at 20%, but that's fine. What's the purchase price?
The purchase price is $950, and that's what I'm offering. I'm offering her $950.
Seller finance?
Because I wanted to have a little bit more leverage, just in case she wanted to counter offer because it's seller financing or something. Because I'm going for like a principal only.
What are the rents right now?
The rents right now. So she has one. Hold on, let me check right now on my phone. So she has one of them going right now for $2,000. It's a 3-bedroom and a 1.5 bathroom, 1.5 bathroom.
Total number of rents. Just the total. What's
the total number of rents right now is 3,500. But she has one being renovated right now, and she has a tenant that's wanting to get like a lease signed when it's ready to go for $1,300 a month. And she has a tenant right now that's wanting to pay a year up front as well.
Okay, so what are the potential rents with what it is right now? Not what it's actually getting. Tell me what potential rents are.
Oh, potential rents for for the 3-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom, she can get about 2,300.
So just total for everything.
Oh,
Just
for
give me
everything.
one big number.
Oh,
Yeah, for all the.
let me do the math real quick.
Yep. And then call suppressor because I think you guys would get along great.
Maximum number, I would say like 6,000. That's
Okay.
without the implementation of the 7-8 units in the back. If she
Yeah, I'm not.
implements
Those don't exist. That doesn't exist. Okay, so right
then,
now,
yeah,
you're
maximum like
at a
6,000, minimum about I would say about 4,900.
4,900. Okay,
4,900
let's go with
minimum.
that's the number we're going with. So you've got $1 million place and it rents for 4,900 a month. No deal. Like, there's no way that's a deal unless you get seller financing.
No, it is seller finance deal. Yeah, it's seller finance deal.
Okay, cool. Give me all the what are you offering? You're offering 950.
So I'm offering her right now. Hold on one second. Let me go back to my notes. So what I'm doing right now is I'm offering her her purchase price, which is her regular price or post price at 950. I'm giving her a down payment of 6.2%.
Okay.
And the note will be 89. Well, I mean whatever that number is. And I'm closing costs I'm believing will be like 1.5%, so like $14,000.
Slow down. What are you paying her per month?
Monthly I'm paying her $1,520.
Yeah, that should work. That's a good deal.
So it's cash flowing right now. Every month
about 16%. Gotcha. So no, that's a good deal. Let's push that through.
So it's so I'm going out to dinner with her tomorrow night, and she wants to talk about it more. So I said, okay, I'm gonna, we'll sit down and we'll talk about it more, and then from there we'll just go from there.
Perfect. If you can get a hold of Suppressor, have him go with you. You guys can all chat together.
Oh, where's he out in Atlanta?
No, he's just super fast talker, just like you.
Nah. Nah, whatever. Well, you see, like I try to go at a pace because I know there's like a lot of people on here. It's like 10 people up here.
You are at a pace. Good deal. No, great. What are you getting for dinner? Where are you guys going?
I have no idea, man. Like I haven't even figured it out. I think she wants to go to like an Indian restaurant or something. I'm Indian, so I told her like, we had like a good conversation, and she has like a lot of other properties as well that she wants to do sort of financing with. So I said, first let's close this one down, then we'll move to the next and see if you want to, if you're open to it,
There's some butter chicken. You'll be all good.
Oh yeah, man. Butter chicken biryani. You feel me? I already know, man.
All right, bro. It's good. Hey, no.
So I wanted to ask you: is there any way I can get for the first deal, for the 1st guy? He's wanting to sign. He's ready to go, but the proof of funds is like kind of like holding me like back. Like how
we can help you. I'll give you a JV agreement, and we can provide proof of funds and help you with the back end and everything. So I'll put that in your DMs.
Cool, man. I appreciate it. And I also have one more question. I'm sorry. So whenever we do submit a deal to submit deals, who comes up with the assignment fee? Like I never like figured that part out.
The buyer.
Okay, so the buyer, like the person at the end, they're like, okay, I feel like this amount.
You have $100,000 place, okay, and you sell it for $200,000. You've got $100,000 possible assignment fee. If you buy a $100,000 place and you sell it for $101,000, then you've got a $1,000 possible. But wait, we've got to pay another like $5,000-$6,000 into closing costs. Oh, you don't have a assignment fee. See what I'm saying? So it all depends on how good of a deal you get. You've got to get an amazing deal so you have a big assignment fee.
So then how would that work with the seller financing deal? Like I definitely understand it with the traditional wholesaling.
That seller finance is usually based on how good the deal is. You negotiate what you want out of it. So if you can still make it cash flow positive and you have a $20,000 assignment fee, then you'll get then you're good. But it still has to be a great deal. So your assignment deal can't sour the deal. That's the main thing we're talking about.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yes, sir. It's that easy. All right. Thanks, bro.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man. Just whenever you get a chance to shoot me a DM, and I'll be glad to get that GV going.
Okay, cool. Where do you live?
I'm out here based in Atlanta, but I moved from here to like Tallahassee. I go from here Tallahassee, Tampa. I'm in that area because my people, we have like gas stations and stuff. So We're trying to move out. Yes, sir.
Okay, good job.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man.
Okay, later. We got some energy today. Ryan, bring the energy.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Weather is cloudy a little bit, but things are good.
Good. What can I do?
I have a property that I could make the seller agree on,
Okay,
and
perfect.
it follows the 1% rule. It's actually even better because it's
Sure.
around 50,000 and it will rent for 1,000 a month.
Love that. That's
The,
great.
the, mar-
Okay.
the market price, it's around 1,000 to 1,200, but for a Section 8, it's up to 1,500.
Okay.
So do you want me to send you the address to take a look at it and tell me
Yeah,
what you think?
absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
I was at your live stream a couple of days ago, and do you remember the deal, which was lady said, I will not take 40 or 50, 60, 70, and then you called
Yeah,
her and you made her agree on 71?
yeah.
Yeah, I was because I was searching in Alabama, in that city, and I saw that one, but I was like, it's not gonna follow the rule of like 30%, where if the asking price is 100, you want a discount of 30%, so it's 70. So I said, okay,
Right.
I'm not gonna call her, I'm not gonna do anything. But then later, when I saw the whole conversation, I was like, oh, okay, now I understand. I don't have to follow the rules every time. I have to come
Yeah,
like
no,
if the
well,
number.
because that was cash flow positive. I mean, that had a good cash flow. It rented for like 1,500, right?
Yes,
So
it's for
yeah,
1450. Yes. So this
yeah.
one, it's in a very similar condition, and it cash flow a lot. Like
It's
with
great. Yeah,
with everything, like even with the high assignment fee, with everything, still it will
good.
cash flow, and it will be cash on cash around like 33%.
Great. That's what we
So
want. Those are the
okay,
deals.
let me
Okay.
send you the address. You
Yeah,
can
send
take
it
a
over.
look at it. I just sent it to you. You got it?
Let's see. Yep, got it. That's funny because that deal actually somebody else came in and got another contract with her, so they must have paid her more.
What do you mean? Like someone got it under contract already?
Yeah, and they went in after the fact and I guess offered her more, and so they snagged it. So
Oh,
it's what it is.
the one with the 40, 50, 60.
Yeah,
Oh, I see. Yeah, because I see it's not in the market anymore. I think it's off market now.
no, I don't know. It's somebody from in here probably went in and snagged it. It is what it is. They probably just offered a little bit more and she took it. Okay,
Could
so
be.
this one, yeah, this one's rent ready and everything.
It is, and she just told me that it was actually rented to a Section 8 tenant, and it was bringing 1,200. And
Oh,
then
and
I
it's
asked
already,
her, it
yeah,
was.
perfect.
No, it's not already, it was.
Gotcha. And what are you offering her?
Here's the thing. I looked at PropStream, and it was saying that there is a loan on it of 44,900. So I was trying to like negotiate as much as possible, knowing that probably they will not accept anything below. Like if I go with 35, they will be like, no, it doesn't make sense. We're losing a lot.
Yep.
Even though their interest rate is very nice, like it's 4.5 or 4.6, but
Yeah.
it's a refinance loan. I don't know what is how is that? Is it?
That's no problem. So they owe 44. Yeah, potentially you could come in and just take over the loan.
I offered them 45. I told her I will give you 45, and then she responded, "Are you going to cover the closing cost?" I said I want to negotiate, so I didn't want to tell her yes, I'm going to cover it. At the same time, I didn't want to tell her no, I don't want to cover it, and that she will walk out of the deal, right? So I said, okay,
Yeah.
I could cover it, like I could do it and cover the closing costs to make the deal work, but preferably I want to stay at the 45 price that I offered.
Okay.
So
But
I
also
just
you
received.
could do it as a mortgage takeover. Just come
Do
in
you
and don't
think?
give her anything. Does she have a
Do you,
realtor?
yeah, she's with the realtor. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean the realtor would have to take nothing to make that work. So, but if she said 45, I mean that's basically what she owes.
Exactly, and I think 45 is still a good deal because if she covered the closing cost, then it's
Yeah.
the same for us as walking. Because even the payment, I saw it with the high interest rate. It's not a big difference. It's not that much.
Yeah, never cover that. Yeah, ever cover the closing costs. That's great. Yeah. You're
Okay,
good.
so right now she just asked me if I could. She said, "Can you have an official contract of the property? Should I expect the contract today?" So I was working with the cash deals contract on the Discord,
Yeah,
and I
perfect.
found one. I have a couple of questions on it. Can you help me on that?
Yeah. What's going on?
Okay, let me share the screen. 1 second. Let me see. Can you see my screen?
Yep. See it. See it.
Can you see it?
Yep. I can see it.
Okay, so my questions are basically everything is very straightforward except for like here I had a question.
You're sharing your Discord screen. Do you have a different screen that you got? Did you have a different screen that you got?
Oh, it's not showing.
And then it's showing me, which I like looking at me.
But it's not showing the contract. Let me see. It's my first time, so
no worries. It'll ask you what screen you want to share.
I picked the entire screen one. Let me see. So this one. Let's do this one so I can have both. Okay, now you can see my desktop. Let me see if this one will.
Yep, I see a moon or a planet. There we go.
Let's just.
Okay.
Okay,
So
you
what are
can
you
see the contract. So everything is very clear except here when it says the purchase price and payment terms.
Okay, so you're going to go for 45,000.
45,000, and then it says earnest money deposit. We agreed on 1,500.
Perfect.
We agreed on a 10 business days.
Perfect.
For the inspection, yes. And then here it says balance of purchase price. Is this 45 minus the 1,500, or should I put?
That's exactly right.
45 minus the 1,500.
Yep.
Okay, and then closing by, because it's my very first deal. I don't know what should I put over here. Is it
30 to 45 days?
30 to 45 days on this one. Okay, and then this one I guess is the same, 30 to 45 days as well, right?
Yep.
Or the closing date.
Yep.
Okay, due diligence period is going to be 10 days again. And then this one was a little bit confusing for me, the occupancy one. So it says exclusive, irrevocable possession and occupancy shall be delivered to buyer's signees or buyer's agents at 5. Here's the time on. Should I put the date of today, the day that we are signing the contract?
No, it's going to be the closing date.
It's going to be the closing date?
Yeah, so figure what 45 days from today, call it April, May, June. So June, say June 10th, June 15th is fine.
June 10th on this one. The date's agreed, signed by then the seller. And here, what is on date of close of escrow? This one just to market or just, I think these are options. So if I choose one of them.
Yeah, so the date, yeah, so yeah.
I can just mark this one and say the date of close escrow.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, no later than days of closing escrow. 25 days over here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's if checked, because I have these 3 options.
Yeah, don't worry about checking any of those. You're good. It's the one up top. It's fine.
The one up top, 25 days. Okay. And then everything else is self-explanatory. And here for the closing cost, should I go with the seller she'll pay 100% and do 0?
Yeah, 0 for you and 100% for the seller.
and see what she's gonna say after, because we didn't 100% agree.
Yeah, just throw it in there and see what she says.
Okay, sounds good. So you think
Yeah,
think it's a good deal finally?
Well, it's what's nice about it is it cash flows really well. So that's the big deal. So yeah. And it's funny because sometimes they're asking prices reasonable. And this is one where their asking price is reasonable.
Yes, that's what made sense for me. It's like basically if I have 10,000 right now, I would definitely go with it. It's bringing me like about 500 or 600 per month in cash flow. So my cash on cash, it's around like 50 or 60 without, like, if I don't put an assignment fee and I buy it myself.
Yeah,
so within
exactly.
2 years, I will get back my money, and then just cash flowing.
Definitely one to buy. 100%. This is a good one to buy.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to send her this one, and probably I'll let you know tomorrow what's going to happen.
All righty. Take it easy.
All right. Thank you. You too.
See you, buddy. All right. And who else? Whoever pulls up their camera first comes up. Creme brulee. Doing it. There we go. Killed it.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Good. Where are you from?
I am from California,
Oh, whereabouts?
Los Angeles.
Oh, I'm Orange County. That's why I asked.
Oh, we're close. A little bit. I was born
Hello.
there.
Oh, good. Whereabouts?
What about it?
Oh, where in Orange County were you born?
I was almost like born on Disney, so like
Oh,
Martin Luther
Anaheim.
King Hospital. My
Anaheim?
mom was
Yeah.
trying to get like free tickets. Forever, you know.
And
she
then
couldn't.
and wait, I don't know. And then she had you? You were a result of free tickets?
They say like if you're born on Disney, you get like free tickets forever.
Oh,
And
really?
apparently her water broke before she entered the Disney park.
Dang it. So close.
I ruined her trip. Yeah.
Yeah, why? And now you've ruined it ever since.
For real.
You're like, facts. Okay, what's going on?
I made my first call. And the address, do you want me to put it on the chat or?
Put it
doesn't
into
matter?
my DM. Just send it to me directly. So just here, I'll send you. So right click on my face and then click message and then send it to me. I'll wave to you. There's a little bear that waves to you.
Okay.
There it is. Perfect. San Antonio. We're going back to San Antonio.
Yeah, I found this one. I just asked ChatGPT, like, where can I start to do this?
Great.
And I called them. I put this on PropStream.
Okay.
They sent me an offer. I called her, and it was like a realtor.
Okay.
Like it was like an agent, and I told her, "Oh, I'm willing to pay like 308 for this property." And they're like, "Oh, is it like this is where I don't know what to do because like they're asking me like, are you gonna buy this? Is it for a company?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, my company is like gonna buy this from you." It's like, "Where from?" I haven't been able to like continue. I mean, she
Okay.
agreed on it. She
I'm
said
gonna
that
make
she's
life
gonna.
easier. You next time you just say, "I'm new to this. I'm just learning how." So bear with me. I work for somebody, but I'm trying to do this on my own and trying to do my own investments. That's all you have to say. I can't say anything to that.
Okay. I'm just learning this. I'm working for somebody.
Yeah. Say I'm brand new, and then they'll be way nicer to you.
Okay, cool. Also, they asked me for like a fee, like, oh, what's it like income fee? Is it that on PropStream that I can find and like give them the answers that they need, or
What fee were they asking for?
I don't remember. It was like too quick. She
Okay.
talks too fast, and I was like, whoa.
Okay.
Maybe the starting fee.
So here's what my advice for you, because when you're new, you got 80 million things going on in your brain, right? So I want you just to call like 20 realtors. I don't care, 20 properties. Don't care where they are, what they are, any of it. And I just want you to find out what the motivation is for people selling their house. That's all you're going to worry about. You're not going to worry about numbers. You're not going to do any of the other stuff. And then when you're done with that first 20, I'll give you another step. And the next step will be a whole different deal. but I just want you to get comfortable talking to realtors,
Mhm.
and just because there's a cadence and it's stuff that they are going to say, and I want you to write down anything they say that you don't understand. But when they say it to you, if they say like, "Oh, what's your EMD?" You're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm new to this. Can you explain to me what that is?" That's your answer for everything. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Gosh, I'm an idiot. Like I don't know what you're talking about. Can you explain that to me? They'll get better and better as you go on, and just say, "I'm brand new at doing this. I'm just, I'm a new investor. I'm trying to figure this all out." They will be nice to you just because you've kind of fallen on it. Because most wholesalers just come at them and throw numbers at them, and they're like, "Okay, you're wasting my time." Okay. So now on this one, what got you to call this one?
What did it make me call this one? I look at the property and like one thing that because I saw the tutorials of Richard.
Yep.
He's like, find decent houses, like not that pretty, not that ugly for a reasonable price. Something that
Okay.
it can be like buyable,
Yep.
or and improved. So I found this house and I thought it was like it worked great. It's a single house family, I think. Let me
Yep.
pop the
Single
the
family
link real
residence.
quick.
Yep. You're good.
And
Okay.
I checked it on Zillow and they even said like, oh, motivated seller. And I'm like, meant to be. So I just called them and
Okay.
it was a real estate agent.
Okay.
But
And you
apparently
got
this house is renting.
yeah.
They're
So
renting
this
a
one,
room. And I'm like, checked whatever that
here-
is. And if it's clear, I'll be willing to proceed
Okay.
with the contract.
Here's what we're going to do. So you're not going to make any offers on your first phone call. It's always going to be on your second phone call after you run numbers. On this one, what I do a simple rule, and it's called the 1% rule. And so see how this one's $275,000. I want the rent to be 1% of that. So it needs to be $2,750, $2,750 at the rent. And then I'll make a phone call. Then I'll call that realtor. That just gets me on the phone. That means that there's a potential deal here. Okay. But this one, you see it's 275, and then you roll down and you see it rents for 1463. Way less than 27, right? So what I do is I just go to the next one, find something else. So this one.
Can you repeat that again? Sorry.
Absolutely, sure. So the purchase price is 275,000. I want the rent cost of the rent to be 2,750, 2,750. Okay. Do you see how that's 1% of that purchase price? Does that make sense?
So you want the rent to be like 2,750?
Yep, exactly. Because that's 1% of what the purchase price is. That's where I get that number.
Okay.
So if we go down on Zillow, you can roll down and it tells you what the estimated rents in that area and what that rent was probably going to be. It's a rent zestimate. And they say it's $1,463.
Yeah.
Okay. That's way below what we need it to be, because we need it to be how much again?
2,750.
Exactly. And so this won't cash flow. And so we just take it and we go on to the next one. And so what I really want you to do, so the two things you're looking for, and all you're looking for, the cost, what they're asking for, and what the rents are. And so if you find a $200,000 place and it rents $2,000, you get on the phone. It's time to call. Okay. That doesn't mean for sure it's 100% a deal. It's a reason to call. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So that's simplify. And so start looking for those. And I want you to make 20 calls and just get the cadence of the whole thing and just understand what they're going to ask you. They're going to beat you up a little bit. They're going to ask you who you are. They're going to ask you what you're doing. Just kind of play dumb and just be like, I'm sorry, I'm brand new at this. I just got it started. So, what does that mean? Or, help me through this if you would. but I just want to know more about the property. And you build up the rapport with the realtor, but most importantly, you find out why they're moving, because it could be a situation where they are getting divorced, or they're getting shipped out, they're in the military, or there's a million different reasons. We need to know that reason. Then we can do the next step and we can do the strategy.
Okay. I have a
Make sense?
question.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot. Thank you.
Good.
I see in my neighborhood that they're selling a lot of houses, and it's on Los Angeles. How liable? I shouldn't.
Los Angeles is horrible because the taxes are brutal. And so you will never find something that sells, like you'll find something that sells 600,000 and the rents are 2,500, 3,000.
Yeah.
It's just bad. Yeah. But if you go like head towards Iowa, Tennessee, Ohio, in the middle of the country, go to the places that you would never visit. Because there's tons of people that live there. Ohio, Texas is good.
I found this one on Texas, but it's not liable because it doesn't cash flow.
This one doesn't. But here's the other little trick: is when you find one that cash flows that is 1%, there's going to be a bunch of them in the neighborhood. So stay with that neighborhood and try to find all the ones in that neighborhood. Okay.
Cool.
You got this.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for.
All right. You bet. Take care. See ya. All righty. Let's see. Tyler, what's going on?
Hey, Trent, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I just had some questions about the contracts. How you guys are doing creating the contracts? Are you going through Buy Box Cartel, or are you doing it yourself, or are you using the realtors' contracts?
So sometimes the realtors' contracts. Often in Texas, you have to use their contracts because it's a Texas contract. But if you go to the left side and you look, and there's different categories. There's like a seller finance channel, and there's a mortgage takeover channel, and there's go to those channels, and those will help you your contracts within there.
That's on Buy Box Cartel?
That's on the Discord. It's just over to the left side. All those hashtags, there's a gazillion of them. But if you find like or you can do hashtag contract, that helps too. And it will pull up the contract for you. But in Buy Box, yeah.
Those contracts work in most states?
Correct. Yeah, that's the contract that Buy Box and Richard's backend team uses. And so you fill those out, then your deal goes through them, and then make sure you stay in touch with the back end team, make sure everything's going right, and then they'll handle everything for you.
Where do I go to talk to the back end team? Do I just through Buy Box?
No, in that same side there, go all the way down, and there's where is it? It's a help. Sorry, there's so many of them now, and I clicked them all. Go to support. It's just down below the homepage. Hit support, and then that gets you right to the back end team. Then they can help you with anything you need.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
I appreciate the information as always, Trent.
Absolutely, happy to help.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Buddy. Take it easy. Okay, Don Julio.
Hey.
What's going on?
I just made my first call, and
nice.
I just noticed this house might be more of a cash offer instead of like a seller finance.
Okay. All right.
I DM'd it to you.
Got it. Providence.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. What is going on with that door? Holy moly. Okay, let's see. Yeah, cool place. Okay, so 490. Is it a single?
That's a 3-family.
It's a what?
Three
Triplex?
family. Yeah,
Okay.
three family.
People live like slobs. Just
Right.
saying. That's unbelievable. Okay, so it's a triplex, and do you know what the rents are?
She told me it was 1,200 each floor.
Okay, so 3,600 total. So they're asking 500,000 for the place, and it rents for 3,600. What makes you like this?
Yeah, I realized after is the 1% rule. I was like, oh, I
You're
made
like,
this
oh,
call. I didn't do the rent. Well, I didn't know the rent anyways, so I was just
no, no
calling.
worries. Totally good. What's their motivation to leave? Are they just tired of being filthy? Is that the deal?
No longer wants to be a landlord.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Those places are hammered. This is a tough one because this one doesn't cash flow, and so what you can do is you can come in and tell them that it doesn't cash flow and pitch a seller finance deal. You could potentially give him what he wants. I would go lower just because it is pretty hammered.
Right.
But I'll be honest, this place is so trashed and so not desirable. I wouldn't even worry about it. Like, I mean, see how they're saying it's like, I mean, I would not want to sleep with a ceiling 6 inches above my head on a slant. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
she
That
told me the
would
roof is like 4 years old, but the siding is coming off.
Yeah, I would walk away from this one. It's not something to pursue.
All right, that's fine. It's just the first one.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, so just try to find, and Providence is a very expensive area. Try to go middle of the country a little bit more.
All right.
Ohio, Iowa, and Tennessee, wherever else. What's above Tennessee? Some like in that area. Kentucky. There we go. Try all those.
All right. Thanks.
Sure. Good job. All right. What's up, Trayvon? Sorry, I was going to call you Traden. What's up?
What's up?
How are
What's
you?
up? I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
Good. So I got a deal that I'm currently working on. I got it to the contract phase and all that, but I had a call back from the realtor and she was saying that she needs additional information, like, the deed in lieu of foreclosure, right? That's in there.
Okay,
And
so let me explain. The deed in lieu of foreclosure is not a contract. I mean, it's what happens with the bank. The
Mhm.
bank will so there's everybody. I think a lot of people have it confused. We'll write it into the contract that the whole reason we're doing a trust is to avoid the deed due on the sale. That's why we're doing it. Okay,
Got
so
you,
that's
but
just
yeah, it's a seller finance transaction, but it's just like she took like, okay, so everything's written in the contract, but she's telling me that she needs to have attached documents for them to see exactly what those things are because I don't understand why she needs extra documentation when it's already written in the contract.
because she doesn't understand the terminology. That's where
Yeah.
she's that's all it is. And so it's almost like you have to hold her hand through the whole process and just explain each and everything to her. So yeah, it happens a lot. Realtors don't understand what's going on, and so you've got to really be diligent and kind of let them know what's up.
Yeah. So how do I approach this? I told her I can get in contact with one of your guys's, TCs and just have them,
Exactly.
talk to
Yeah,
her about it.
that's the way to go for sure, 100%. Because
Okay,
they'll explain the whole thing to you, and you can get that kind of help through the support, or when Richard comes up, he can help you through that too. So it's
Yeah.
really, it's you got to there's realtors that just don't understand, and so that's a big part of your role is to explain it to them, and so that means you need to understand as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hold on. Give me a second. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, bro.
All right. Appreciate your time.
You bet. Take it easy. All right,
guys.
Richard, take over.
How are we doing today?
Excellent. A lot of energy in this Whole lot of energy. All right, I'm out. Have a good one.
All right. Okay. Sorry for the delay. Meeting with CPA or CFO, sorry. Meeting with CFO put me behind schedule a little bit, and we're back. So I have already posted everything. Don't worry, I'm not going to do that. I've got Vince. We got a Vince in here. Is there we got a Vince in here? Mr. Vince? Jazz, I'll see if I can bring you up. I have Ali. Vince right here, bro. Got you. And then what about an Ali? Can I come up? I've been texting you, sure. We got an Ali in here. I just got to bring up the people I scheduled yesterday, but we're gonna bring a lot of people up. Where the hell is Ali?
Oh, you called Ali on Friday, and then he was in there. You spoke to him yesterday. He's the one from Kenya.
Oh, he's already good to go. Okay.
I think I don't know. I do.
Where are my reminders? I thought I had another. I could have sworn. B Penny and Vince. B Penny.